This video is brought to you by Longoni Cues.
Hi pool players, it's the Terminator. Welcome back to another episode of Terminator Tips. In this episode, we're going to focus on one thing only, and that is the grip. I've received so many requests about this topic. How firm should you hold the cue? How light? Should you bend the wrist? Keep it locked? What to do? So let's dive into it a little bit deeper without overanalyzing it. All right, sports fans, let's dive right into it. I think the number one thing with your grip is that you don't squeeze the cue, because then, as you can see, the arm is gonna go up and down like this and not in a horizontal line anymore. The cue will not go back and forth, but up and down as such. Plus, you can also see if I'm squeezing the cue too tightly, I'm not gonna get a nice feel over the shot. It's gonna be too stiff, too robotic, and all the sensation will come from the biceps and the shoulder without the lower part of the arm and hand, bringing that extra feel and smoothness that we need to execute certain touchy shots. And also, you don't wanna hold it too light, because then if you're gonna hit the ball perhaps very hard, it could drop out of your hand. Also something we don't really want. So that brings us to the next point. Where should you start? How do you find your own unique grip? Because in my humble opinion, you cannot copy somebody's grip really. Their hands, their fingers, their wrists are gonna be different from yours, and that's what makes this sport really cool. You're gonna create your own unique style. Now, a tip I've learned many years ago, if you really have no clue where to start, put the cue in your hand, squeeze the cue, and then relax your fingers. That means you're gonna have the cue in your hands nice and easy. If you squeeze them and then relax them, everything's gonna flow nicely, and from there on, it's all about how your fingers feel. Some of the Filipino players, they grip them more with the first three, so the thumb, the index, and the middle finger, if I'm correct. The last two fingers are more relaxed. They don't do a whole lot. Very personal, as long as that tension is smooth and relaxed. And from there on, it's all about your unique style. Like for me, for example, I've been told when I execute the shot, I have a slight slip stroke where the cue just goes through my fingers very lightly. I'm not even aware of it, but it's unique to my stroke and my style, and you're gonna have your own unique grip that fits your game. Let's address something that's very vital for your grip and stroke also, and that is your wrist. Because what's crucial if you're gonna hit a stroke with a firmer execution and you're gonna drop your upper arm into it, it is essential that your wrist bends like this. If it doesn't, and also if you squeeze the cue, look what's gonna happen. It's gonna go up in the air. If the wrist doesn't bend, where it can go straight like such, you just bend the wrist slightly so the cue can extend. If that doesn't happen, you get this. You cannot execute that big stroke. Crucial. Here, let me demonstrate, for example, this 4-ball. If I want to blast this with draw, and I'm going to squeeze my hand now and not put in that wrist bend action, look what's going to happen. My cue is going to go up in the air. I'm going to get really nasty stroke. I don't have any feel over it. It feels really weird. However, if I bend that wrist as such, follow through nicely, then I'm gonna get much more feel, flexibility, and execution, acceleration, the whole works out of it. It's very easy to practice. Just pick the cue up in your hand, a nice relaxed grip that we just talked about, and then extend it and make sure you bend that wrist when the upper arm extends. As such, you can do this 20 in a row, 50, depending how excited you are about it. This is easy to do, easy to practice, and you can incorporate this in your game very fast. Here's a little warning for you guys. If you're building your game up, you're learning the techniques, this is something to spend a little bit of time on. But if you're an established player, you can do most of the shots and you're still thinking about how you're gripping the cue, how you're stroking the cue too much, then this should really be a warning sign, red flags going off, because it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with your technique or your grip. There's something wrong with your challenge. You're not challenging yourself enough, therefore you're not getting into the flow, you're not focusing enough, and you start daydreaming, you're getting bored, and you start overthinking, getting over analytical. Trust me, I speak from experience. I've had this many times. It basically means you're not setting the bar high enough. You need to start doing tougher drills, tougher sparring sessions. You need to extend your game in a different way, because otherwise, before you know it, you're going to be stuck in the overthinking, overanalyzing mode. And this is something that I don't want for your game. And this could save you a bunch of months, and for some people, even years. So perhaps you need to start picking up different challenging games that really make you focus, where you give your full attention to the game and not at how you're holding the cue in your hand. So trust yourself, because if it's good and you can do most of the shots, then it's good enough. There you go, pool fans. That should really take away a lot of the doubt and overthinking about this topic. Just trust your unique grip and hold, roll with it. As long as you can execute most shots in a fluid way, then you have everything sorted out and you have everything you need. Don't forget to check out all the other great content on the channel. There's tips and lessons here uploaded weekly for you. Remember, if you're interested in more mental tips and lessons, head over to terminatorcollege.com. Check out all those courses that are waiting there for you. See you in the next episode.